Breaking news, my country people. Drama don show for the Nigerian Senate. Make una watch as Senator Oshiomhole dey school Godswill Akpabio over the tax bill passage. He tell am say we cannot be senators forever o. So just know what you are doing. This is interesting.
As much as possible. Now, when this has gone through all the relevant agencies, made by people who are competent as provided for under the law, with profound respect, I do not think that the fact that National Assembly has oversight responsibility, that we should now become an approving authority. Let me finish. Therefore, I agree absolutely with the sentiment expressed by Senator Akpabio. I think that what should give us comfort is the fact that, stated or not, anything done by anyone spending or appropriating public funds, this National Assembly has a natural oversight responsibility. That does not mean we should be consulted first before certain things are done, so that we avoid delays such that may turn out to hurt all of us. So that's why I think that Akpabio, given his background, is being a Secretary General of the Federation, and he understands the issues, and in all of this, time is of the essence. We can't make two sets of laws on pay as you earn. There are people working in FCT, but they live in Nasarawa State. There are people who work in Lagos, Mr. President, and they live in Ogun State. The logic of pay as you earn, my brother, is that you pay based on your residence, not where your office is. Because it is in your residence that your family, your children will attend public schools and any of those services provided by state government. The purpose of tax is to address the social needs of human beings. And so, if you tamper with this...
Use your mic. Use your mic.
Sir?
Your mic was not working.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Thank you, Mr. President.
Long title of the bill: An act to provide for the assessment, collection of, and accounting for revenue accruing to the Federation, federal, states, and local governments, prescribe the powers and functions of tax authorities, and for related matters, SB 585. Mr. President, I have a very serious concern, particularly when you go deeper into the provisions of this particular bill at clauses 87 downwards, where it is clearly intended that we make laws for states and local governments. This is against the Constitution. We don't have powers to make laws for states and local governments. So we may, Mr. President, go into this and look at it more dispassionately.
One section tells you that we don't have powers to make laws for states and local governments. Because what I know legally, by the Constitution, is that any law that is enacted by a state or a bylaw by the local government, which is inconsistent with an act of parliament at the national level, is null and void to the extent of that inconsistency.
Mr. President, you don't make laws for states. That's why you have state houses of assembly.
No, we do. We do. We make laws for states. Where the states make laws, and there's an act of parliament where you have an exclusive legislative list, then you have the concurrent legislative list. Where there is concurrent legislative list, in other words, the states can make law, and the federal government can also make law on the same subject matter. The one that is made by the federal government, that is the National Assembly, the one done by the state, if there is inconsistency, the one by the federal government stands, and the one done by the state is immediately null and void to the extent of that inconsistency.
Well, I stand to be corrected, Mr. President.
Yes.
I maintain my position.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I would like to inform my...
As a ranking legal mind, I from my head alone, I know that we can make laws that will bind the states and local governments. If there are areas we cannot, the Constitution will separate those areas. But on areas of there are exceptions, on areas of concurrent jurisdiction.
And constitutional point of order, Section 162 of the Constitution. With your permission, Mr. President, I read: the Federation shall maintain a special account to be called the Federation account, into which shall be paid all revenues collected by the government of the Federation, except the proceeds from the personal income tax of the personnel of the armed forces of the Federation, the Nigerian Police Force, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, or Department of Government charged with the responsibility for foreign affairs, and the residents of the Federal Capital Territory. So, Mr. President, the exception on this is that we cannot make law for the collection of revenue on these categories of taxes. These taxes, we cannot make law for the collection of taxes mentioned in this section, because they belong to FCT. And even pay as you earn, we cannot make law for the collection of pay as you earn. It's entirely the responsibility of the State Internal Revenue Service. Thank you.
Thank you. That does not need argument.
Laws on certain matters for the state house, for the state government. Clause 87 is talking about establishment of the State Internal Revenue Service.
It's an observation. Sorry. I observed the members of the Finance Committee that worked on this bill. So this is the time that he should be listening to us. If there is an amendment, you go and reflect it. But not the time for you to consult with members of your committee. But if all members of your committee are coming to you, you wouldn't have time to listen to the observations of the Senate. Please continue.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. State Internal Revenue Services for states with their functions, with their management, structures for state revenue services. Can we, under the Constitution, Mr. Chairman, I have my concern?
We cannot. Yes.
Expunge. They are expunged.
Okay. So please move a motion, Senator.
Well, Mr. Chairman,
before we do that,
proposition that states should be allowed to create their own revenue service as recommended in Section 87. Say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. So the entirety of those provisions that allow the National Assembly to make to create state revenue service, those provisions are hereby expunged. Expunged. And so please, Senator Tambua, move a motion and mention the areas that should be expunged.
My distinguished colleagues, having been established that it would be superfluous for us to pass these provisions as contained in clauses 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 99, I hereby move that all of these be expunged from the bill.
Any seconder? 98. Because I think section 99 is about creation of executive chairman.
Yes. Okay, Your Excellency.
Which we have to discuss.
Yes, Excellency.
So the motion has been moved and seconded that we expunge from clauses 87 all the way to clause 98. Those in support that those areas be expunged, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. So 87 to 98 hereby expunged. Now let's look at clause 99. No, just clause 99. Clause 99 says, executive chairman. The powers and duties which are conferred on the executive chairman of the relevant tax authority by this bill and other tax laws shall be exercised by the executive chairman or by such other persons authorized to exercise such power. Is there anybody who may wish, chairman, you want to move a motion that this be changed from executive chairman to executive vice chairman to exercise the powers of all the tax bills?